Hey, what's up, everybody? Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing an Innistrad block draft. We opened Deranged Outcast as our rare, who is okay. He's not bad. Think I'm going to take one of the removal spells over it, though. I'm leaning towards Tragic Slip because I don't know, I really like black in general and blue-black in particular. Griptide is also good. Elgod Inquisitor is also a good card in this pack. I suppose that, Gavany Ironright is starting to be viewed as a higher pick now. The Fateful Hour ability just looks more relevant now than I suppose it did to me when I first started Dark Ascension drafts. Markov Warlord is a fine finisher, and Deranged Outcast I think is actually just fine for green-white. But I'm going to pick up a Tragic Slip. I like getting removal and good removal early on, so Tragic Slip is good enough. Okay, so second pick. I like blue-black a lot. I think I like blue-black more than I like white-black humans, especially after I just passed some good white cards. Well, I guess it was just another Ironright. Could always get the Lost in the Woods. Just in case I want to sideboard into the Lost in the Woods deck, but I don't think I want to do that. Someone might, though, since this is in the draft now. I haven't had to go up against that yet. I think the pick for us is just the Griptide and commit myself to blue-black, which is a good archetype anyway, so it's not really that dangerous. Could also do black-red, so both of those. I think I like blue-black more, though, than black-red. But this is sort of a kind of an important choice since these are both good removal. Rack with Madness might actually be stronger removal, but I think I like blue-black more than I like black-red. Okay, so we do have some solid blue and black picks. It's the Ghoul, the Sea Kite, or the Vengeful Vampire. I like Highborn Ghoul a lot. I think I'm going to go with the Sea Kite, though, just because I like it more as like a semi-removal spell as well. You know, you play it, you kill something they're attacking with, and then you can get in with him as an attacker. I think I like that more than the Highborn Ghoul. Don't get me wrong, Highborn Ghoul is really good, and I'm in the colors where I could pick up a Diregraph Captain. And I guess we're only on third pick. Well, maybe I just convinced myself. We are in Diregraph Captain colors. We're in zombie colors. Highborn Ghoul. Yeah, I think because there's a chance I could still pick up a Diregraph Captain in these next couple picks. I'm going to pick the Highborn Ghoul. Plenty of red and plenty of white, which is a little worrisome. I think we just cut blue more, so we take the Divination. I guess I'm not committed to blue. I only have the Griptide. So maybe I'd take the Forge Devil instead. And chance I do. I could also do black-green. I think Kessig Recluse, if we're just talking about the strongest cards in the pack, it's between like Recluse and Niblis of the Urn. But I'm not likely to do either black-green or black-white, I don't think. So I think I'll actually take the Forge Devil, because it's more likely I'd do black-red, and then this way I at least get a little removal spell. Okay, so now we've got a good choice here. We can do the Undying Evil as like combat trick, which is kind of cool with Forge Devil actually too. Or we can do Headless Scab, who's fine. That's a really late Elgod Inquisitor. Could start diving into black-white humans, but I don't think I want to do that. So really it's Undying Evil or Headless Scab. And think I'm going to take the Undying Evil over the Headless Scab. There's a better chance I see some more exile-y zombies later from the Innistrad packs. Here I think I'm just going to take the Thought Scour, get some self-mill for blue zombies I might get later. Yep, I think that's the choice. Over the Bone to Ash. Wow, that's an extremely late Stormbound Geist. So we're going to snatch that one up. It's significantly better than Sightless Ghoul. I mean, it's cheaper, it flies. I don't see how it couldn't be. Nothing else super relevant for us. Otherwise, I guess the next pick would be Falconwrath Torture, who's fine. We're going to take Stormbound Geist. Be happy with that. Alright, so now it's Torture or another Thought Scour. I think I'm just going to take another Thought Scour. If we pick up another one of these, it's going to make it a lot easier for when we want to pick up makeshift maulers and stuff like that. I guess the strongest pick in the pack is got to be the Nearheath Stalker, but I think Thought Scour is good enough. I could also, there's plenty of flashback options I'm going to get later. I just like the value that I can get from Thought Scour. Fits blue-black really well. Here I'm going to take the Grip Tide over the Headless Scab. Mystic Retrieval is interesting, but I'm just going to pick up another removal spell. I don't have any problem with that. We're cutting blue pretty well here. This is the strongest card in the pack, I think, because it's a combat trick. How likely is it that I would actually play a Haunted Fingraph? I mean, I suppose it's not like extremely unlikely, but if I'm playing blue-black, I'm going to be plucking creatures out of I'm going to be exiling creatures out of my graveyard, so I suppose I'll take the Artful Dodge, just because it's on color. I don't really think it's very likely I would play it, but there's a chance. We'll take the Chant of the Skiff Saying, another tiny little removal spell. None of these are good. Suppose we'll take Curse. It's uncommon. What's this terrible card do again? Okay, it's Delta. No, I can't pick that. Yeah, I'd rather take an Altar, which is just as worthless, I guess. Curse of Thirst. That's interesting. I guess it actually does something. Yeah. Alright. So, I mean, at this point, I guess I'm not super committed to black, but I think I'd like to play it at this point. Tragic Slip is good. Undying Evil is good, and Highborn Ghoul is good. So all of those are good. Let's hide this for now. Okay, so we've got some choices. I think the choice is inevitably going to be Victim over the Brimstone and Deranged Assistant and Blazing Torch. Interloper, Scab Goliath, all of those are super playables for us. Cards that we would like, but I think we're just going to go with the removal. I guess we only have 2 creatures right now, but there will be time to pick up some creatures, and getting awesome removal is just always good. Scab Goliath, it'd be nice to have that. That would be a good finisher, I will admit. And Deranged Assistant would be good too. I mean, all of those would be good, but I can't pass removal for a decent creature. I can't pass good removal for a decent creature. I don't think that's right, so we're going to take the Victim. Started off with the Victim. Pretty safe time to pick up an Invisible Stalker. Still a very good chance we could get Silver Inlay Dagger, obviously Butcher's Cleaver. I'm trying to think if there's any other sick equipment with him. Oh, even Demon Mail Halberg. I've done it before, and it's fine with Stalker too. I'm gonna need more creatures, so Stalker it is, definitely. Okay, sweet. So Silent Departure. I'm looking at Silent Departure, Moon Heron, Scab Goliath, Battleground Geist. I think I'm just gonna go with Silent Departure. It's solid removal. I know I'm picking up a lot of removal and low creatures, but I'd rather have a really awesome removal suit with like a decent creature suit than awesome creatures with like decent removal. So if that makes sense to you, I hope it does. It makes sense to me. We're going to pick up Silent Departure. Also works really well with our Thought Scours too. Gives us something to mill ourselves into. I do want the Scab Goliath. He's an awesome finisher, but I can't pass up the Silent Departure. Silent Departure is also really good against the Scab Goliath. Alright, well, now we have a pretty interesting choice here. We've got Alchemy, Civilized Scholar, Spider Spawning, Mirror Mad Phantasm. Now if I grab the Spider Spawning, I'm going to want to just pick up Pure Self Mill, and I'm going to need a ton more creatures. I think I actually want to go with the Mirror Mad Phantasm, which is a fine creature on its own, and doesn't make it so I have to pick Self Mill for the rest. I mean, I'm not like totally opposed to that, but considering we're already on pack 2 and I have 3 creatures, it'd be kind of a stretch to get all Self Mill and enough creatures to justify playing Spider Spawning. And I'd have to stretch into 3 colors, get some mana fixing. We're just going to go with the Mirror Mad Phantasm. He can finish games. He's huge. Okay, I think we're just going to pick up Claustrophobia. How are we looking on removal now? I'm sure we're looking sick now, right? Silent Departure, Slip, Victim. We'll get a Claustrophobia. We'll have a Chant, Double Griptide. Yeah, our removal suit is going to be wicked good. I mean, Patrician would be fine too here, but I'm not going to sacrifice the Claustrophobia. How about another one? No, not the other one either. So, another Claustrophobia. Definitely getting good on removal here. At this point. Well, 0 playable creatures for us. Just a little bit unfortunate. How many flashback spells do we have? Not many, but I think since we passed Spider Spawning, it's probably better, since I'm definitely not playing the Runic Repetition. We'll just hate out the Gnawed of the Bone, which is a staple of the Spider Spawning deck. 0 creatures again, so very unfortunate for us. I think we'll just take the Kessig Wolf in case we have to splash red, because we already have the Forge Devils too. This is just covering my bases in case we get no more creatures for the rest of the game. Alright, somehow we've managed to table a Scab Goliath, which is awesome. Although it is horrible in our current setup, since we only have 5 creatures. We can actually start, at this point we can start picking up creatures since we're so low and we have such a good removal suit. We're going to pick the Brain Weevil. Hopefully we'll not have to play it, but there's a chance. So here we'll take Ghoul Razor. Just looking for creatures at this point. Ghoul Razor's fine with Highborn Ghoul too. Curiosity for the Stalker. Yeah, I think that's good. This looks like it can wreck us. Double Claustrophobia and a Chant of the Skiff Sang. Okay, Random Curse. Let's start hiding some stuff. I think for now we can probably hide the Kessig Wolf. Just get a better idea of how many playables we have. So I mean, we have 19 playables with only 7 creatures, so alright, I guess at this point, especially since one of the creatures is Scab Goliath, I really need to start picking up some good creatures here. So I mean, enough with the good removal, I guess. On to good creatures. Alright. Well, Deadweight is so good, but at the same time, Galvanic Juggernaut is so good. I think because we're so low on creatures and we have just a ton of removal at this point. Yeah, I mean, we just have a ton of removal. I'm going to start picking up the good creatures. We can finally start doing that. So, as much as I'd love to pick up this Deadweight, we're going to pick up the Juggernaut, which just finishes games. Do we have Morbid in any way? I mean, Brain Weevil, I guess, sort of. I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, the best creature for us is definitely the Juggernaut, and it fits our curve just fine as well. So we'll pick that. Juggernaut, unfortunately, does not work so well with the Claustrophobias. Wow. Well, pretty clear what we're picking out of this pack. This pack is super deep for us, though. the Screeching Bat and then Stalker and the Assistant would all be perfectly fine picks. But we're absolutely just slamming this Reaper from the Abyss, which is a gift to say the least, especially with given our current removal suit. Okay, so now, I mean, I'm only at 9 creatures, so now it's Deadweight or Invisible Stalker. I may actually want to pick up the Deadweight over the Stalker here. I mean, we literally only have the Curiosity for the Stalker. Even if I pick up a Cleaver, I still have 1 Stalker, and I really want to be able to get this Reaper from the Abyss online, especially with Deadweight. It's like, kill that creature, into my turn, kill your strongest creature. And it just buys us time to get to that point. I think it's just the best all-around plan to pick the Deadweight here over the Stalker. Stalker is sick, though, don't get me wrong. Corpse Lunge looks horrible in this deck with 9 creatures. I think we're just going with a Think Twice. Help us to get to our bombs. Okay. This is definitely one of the lowest creature count decks I think I've ever played. I think at this point we just have to pick up the Walking Corpse. Works fine with the Ghoul Raiser, and is something that we can play. That just will buy us some time to get to our late game, which is essentially all we need to get to. Wow. Stitch Drake, Grasp, Lantern Spirit. All of those are super playable. I feel like I'm going to have a hard time playing Stitch Drake in this deck. What's my self-mill? It's literally 2 Thought Scours. I think that is all of my self-mill. And I've already got the Scab Goliath, 10 creatures. I mean, I have to be honest, I am tempted to play this Grasp, but this doesn't look like a great Grasp grip type deck. I think I'm going to go with the Flyer over the Grasp. This card is so much weaker, but I don't like the way that Griptide and Grasp work. If you're not as tempo, I don't like the way they work. Just because they can have like a board full of creatures, and if you're only putting 1 on top of their library and you have nothing, to defend yourself, just not very good. I think safe to pick another Ghoul Raiser here. Did definitely need some creatures. Assistant is absolutely the pick here. Helps us get to our late game nonsense. It's a super late Doom Traveler. We're going to take Walking Corpse now that we have double Ghoul Raiser. That should be good for buying us more time. Alright, well, we ended up with a decent creature suit towards the end here, which is nice. We're going to take... Is there any chance I'm playing Corpse Lunge? No. I think I'm going to take the Ancient Grudge away from our opponents, which is actually an out against our sweet Galvanic Juggernaut. I don't even have any curses I care about, right? No. I suppose we'll take the Sensory Deprivation for sideboard. How many flashback spells do I have? 1, 2... 2? I guess we'll take this away from Spider Spawning deck. I don't know. Okay, Gruesome Deformity. Yep. Alright, well, I mean, we ended up pretty good, I think. We got a ton of removal early on. And, although, we didn't end up with the best creatures besides our sweet bombs. Like, we definitely got 3 awesome finishers. And the rest of our creatures are pretty lackluster. I guess Galvanic Juggernaut's great, too, so... We're looking pretty good, actually. I might not even need to run the Thought Scours. I guess they do... what do they do? I guess if I get... They, like, feed my graveyard with zombies for my Ghoul Raiser, or they feed my graveyard with creatures for the Scab Goliath. That's about it. Let me build a deck real quick, and then I'll see what I can do with this. Okay, so this is what I've come up with. We look pretty good. I ended up cutting the Thought Scours and the Chant of the Skiff Saying, and I'm not playing Sensory Deprivation. These will be fine for the sideboard. I've got our removal suit moved on the bottom here so you can take a better look at what we have to deal with our opponent's creatures, what our creature suit looks like. We look decent. I mean, our stuff is, like I said, pretty unimpressive on its own up until we get to our late game. So really, we're sort of just counting on our removal to hold off our opponent early, and our cheap and bad creatures just sort of sit back, get us to the late game, finish it with Reaper or Scapglyph or Mirrormad. So, or Galvanic Juggernaut is, I'm sure, fine at doing that. So yeah, we look pretty good. This isn't the best type of removal, I was saying earlier, to combo with Reaper, because you actually don't kill the creature, so you don't get a morbid trigger. Whereas Victim and Deadweight and Tragic Slip are going to be great for that, where they actually kill something on board and then Reaper gives you an additional one. So it's kind of cool how that's going to work. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to play Reaper, real life or in a draft, so I'm kind of excited to give him a try and see what I think of him. I can imagine he's pretty awesome with Undying Evil, being able to save his life or save another creature's life and get another morbid trigger, so kind of cool. I don't think that I want to do anything differently. This Stalker is pretty much just a 2-mana 1/1 hexproof unblockable. I mean, I could bring in the Curiosity, just not quite sure what I want to bring it in over. I guess it would fulfill sort of the same role as the Think Twice. Maybe because I have a chance of getting value on it, I should do it. Certainly not great other than with Invisible Stalker, but Stalker Curiosity is always good, so I think I should, use whatever cards at my disposal actually give value to Invisible Stalker. Think Twice, though, is obviously a little more consistent, works on its own. I mean, I might be able to just, it's either like Stalker Curiosity or Think Twice and like Sensory Deprivation or something. So another removal plus that, lower my creature count. I might actually like that more. Maybe I do. Maybe I like that more. Gives me less creatures to feed Scapglyph with, but what? But it gives me another like removal spell to get me to late game. Gives me more draw to get to my late, bomb creatures. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit more. I can't see a lot of other creatures I want to put a Curiosity on. I guess Highborn Ghoul would be a decent one. I'm debating this a little more than I should, but I'm just not sure what I think is better. Maybe because I have the Highborn Ghoul, I should do the Curiosity Stalker over Deprivation Think Twice. So I'm going to try that. Alright, I guess that settles it. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a deck that could be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see what my draws look like. Alright, we'll see you round 1. Wish me luck.